Appointed as Andhra governor, the lobby goes after Justice Nazeer now. They question his Ayodhya judgment but conveniently forget his position on triple talaq. We expose the lobby's hypocrisy tonight.
सिर काटने, जीभ काटने, कान काटने, नाक काटने, हाथ काटने के लिए सुपारियां दे रहे हैं कि जो ये भाषा बोलता है वो साधु संत नहीं हो सकता है, वो या तो आतंकवादी हो सकता है या कसाई हो सकता है.
With no ideology, is Hindu hate their go-to card to divide and get votes? Leaders fielded again to attack our saints and seers. The controversy of Swami Prasad Maurya is increasing. Arrested for killing BJP leader Praveen Netaru, SDPI, which is the PFI's political wing, rewards the murder accused with an election ticket. Questions over former Congressman Nedumaran's claim on the LTT chief Prabhakaran being alive. Is there more to him, saying that Prabhakaran is alive?
Ladies and gentlemen, they're just rolling and the deafening roar of the engines of...
And as the Prime Minister flags off Aero India 2023 in Bengaluru, the world watches India emerge as a defence superpower. And ladies and gentlemen, the opposition and the lobby are going after a retired Supreme Court judge, retired just a few days back. They have a problem with Justice Abdul Nazir's appointment as governor. I have a problem as well, but I don't agree with their interpretation. I will tell you my views. By the way, Justice Nazir was part of a bench that unanimously delivered the Ayodhya verdict. We have two views and a really hot debate coming your way. This is what has happened.
On November 9, 2019, these 5 judges read the verdict and put an end to the decades-long Ayodhya battle. The man on the far right is Justice S. Abdul Nazir, who retired on January 4th and is now appointed as the governor of Andhra Pradesh. He has come under opposition and lobby's attack.
There is a need for a broader, wider discussion as to whether people who have served in the apex judiciary should really be qualified to or should they be accepting such post-retirement sinecures.
राजभवन जो है ये राजा भवन के रूप में तब्दील हो गया. इसकी कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है. लोकतंत्र में चुनी हुई सरकारें होती हैं. उन सरकारों को अपने विवेक से काम करने की छूट होनी चाहिए और ये राज्यपाल और एलजी ये सब बंद करना चाहिए. इसमें फालतू एक तो उनके प्रोटोकॉल में पैसे खर्च होते हैं करोड़ों रुपए. उनको एक वोट नहीं मिलता है.
The lobby has attacked the retired judge, citing his Ayodhya verdict, even going to the extent of calling him names. While talking about his Ayodhya verdict, the lobby seems to be selectively silent on Justice Nazir's other judgments. Like his verdict, where he upheld the right to privacy as a fundamental right. Or his dissenting judgment in triple talaq case, where he believed that there should be no interference in personal laws. The government has attacked the ecosystem.
किसी भी काबिल व्यक्ति को कोई भी जिम्मेदारी दी जा सकती है. किसी की काबिलियत पे कोई प्रश्न चिन्ह खड़ा नहीं होता है. और आप आज़ादी के समय से लेकर अब तक देखेंगे, उदाहरण के तौर पर तो पुराने बहुत निकलेंगे आपके पास.
And the attack on the judges comes just days after Prime Minister had called out the lobby.
9 साल आलोचना ने आरोपों में गंवा दिए जिला. सिवाय आरोप, गाली गलौज, कुछ भी बोल दो, इसके सिवाय कुछ नहीं किया. गलत आरोप. और हाल ये चुनाव हार जाओ, ईवीएम खराब, दे दो गाली. चुनाव हार जाओ, चुनाव आयोग को गाली दे दो. क्या तरीका है? अगर कोर्ट में फैसला पक्ष में नहीं आया तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट को गाली दे दो, उसकी आलोचना कर दो.
With facts and empirical evidence, it's time to expose the hypocrisy of the lobby tonight. Let's debate.
Okay, we have Rhythm joining me on the debate. Let's open it up. Gaurav Bhatia, Justice S.R. Singh Yadav, former judge of the Allahabad High Court, Ranjit Kumar, former Solicitor General of India, K.K. Manan, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court, Ravi Kadam, former Attorney General, Advocate General of Maharashtra. Really high-powered panel tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Hardeep Singh Kingra of the Congress, Tanveer Ahmed of the JDS, Abhishek Sudhir and Mrinalini Deshmukh are completing my panel. My first question goes to Ranjit Kumar, former Solicitor General of India. Mr. Ranjit Kumar, question would be, why have to appoint Justice Nazir as a governor of Andhra Pradesh? You know, the moment you do that, there's going to be scrutiny, there'll be questions. Why have to do it?
Well, no, what I am saying is that like any other person who can be appointed as a governor and who should be capable of being a governor, Justice Nazir does not have any disqualification that he cannot become a governor. He's a sound person, he's an excellent human being, and he has all the qualities to discharge his duties faithfully to the Constitution. He has earlier taken oath of the Constitution as a judge of the Karnataka High Court and of the Supreme Court.
That's a technical position. That's a technical position opening up on the other side. Who'd like to come in now? That's a Tanveer is in that.
Yeah,
let's take it. No, Tanveer wants to come. Let's get all the country views in. Tanveer.
Absolutely, he has great qualification. Nobody is definitely going to deny. The greater qualification he has, other than being the judge, is, as Mr. Arun Jaitley had told in the past, the pre-retirement judgments are influenced by the post-retirement jobs. And I'm sure that is a great qualification Justice Nazir has, and we all really applaud.
Which judgment? I mean, sorry, you made a, no, one minute. Gaurav Bhatia comes in on the debate right now. I don't like that sarcasm. I don't like the sarcasm. I want us to be completely focused. You have made a charge here tonight. Rhythm, you heard he made a charge there. He has said that pre-retirement decisions of Justice Nazir have been influenced by this post-retirement job he's out of the governor. Rhythm, I think you should clarify which one.
Absolutely. In fact, Tanveer, I would like to point out that even though there is a mixed reaction coming in for Justice Nazir going to be appointed here, the fact of the matter is there are some judgments in which the other person on the other side would say that they were not in their favor. Whether it's the dissent in the triple talaq case or we see the unanimous verdict in the Yodhya case, we can't just go and say that a judge has to be read out to be giving certain judgments on the basis of political words. So I think it's completely
No, but he's very clear about it. You know, the point is he's quoting Arun Jaitley out here. I'd like to quote Arun Jaitley here in this case.
Tanveer.
1 minute. Yes, Abhishek, what are you saying?
Can I respond? I said I disagree with Tanveer. I think one shouldn't cast aspersions. Justice Nazir has written some fabulous judgments. As Rhythm has pointed out, his judgments have gone against the government as well. The point is, it's time for us to debate a cooling off period. IAS officers have to undergo a 1-year cooling off period before they can accept commercial employment post-retirement. We need to have a constitutional bar on chief justices and judges of the Supreme Court holding post-retirement constitutional positions for a period of time. That is the crux of the issue. From Indira Gandhi onwards, almost every Prime Minister has favored judges who have given judgments favorable to the government. I'm not saying Justice Nazir is one such judge, but to...
No, I'm saying Abhishek, a limited point here, limited point that Rhythm made. Abhishek, one minute. Gaurav wants to come in. Yeah. Limited point that Rhythm made is that there is this illiterate lobby here, which without absence of research or logic or maybe reason or sound arguments, ends up making this Twitter-type stupid comments saying that all the landmark judgments given by Justice Nazir are all pro-government. They are wrong, and Rhythm has rightly pointed out that Justice Nazir was the dissenting judge in the triple talaq case. So he took a position which is against the government's view for the imposition of a ban on triple talaq. So you can't say that he was influenced. Question here is Gaurav Bhatia.
But we need
Gaurav Bhatia and Ravi Kadam on the left, please. Gaurav Bhatia, Arun Jaitley's own views come back to haunt us. For Arun Jaitley had famously said, and I don't have the exact quote, but something to this effect, and I'm sure I'm not getting the context wrong, he said that post-retirement jobs are influencing pre-retirement judgments, or something to this effect. Now, what Arun Jaitley said made a lot of sense in 2012.
Yes.
How does it not apply in 2022?
Yes. So Arnab, let me come in now. I have a few points to make. The first one would be that we can always debate on the issue that we're discussing. But speaking for Justice Nazir,
and being a foot soldier of the Honorable Supreme Court, I can tell you, he's been one of the finest judges of the Honorable Supreme Court. And Ranjit Kumar ji very rightly said that there is no bar or restriction in the Constitution that a retired Supreme Court judge cannot be appointed as a governor of the state. And I must also say that there are no allegations against Justice Nazir that the government ought to have looked into those allegations and then probed them before appointing him. Rather, no, I'm coming. Please don't disturb me. I will answer. I'll give you reasons why his appointment is good for a democracy. Please allow me. Now, coming to the point why a retired Supreme Court judge or a High Court judge is actually a perfect candidate to be in governor's position. Reason number one, read the judgment of Rameshwar Prasad. During the Congress ruled days, it was the Honorable Supreme Court that came down heavily on Governor Bhutta Singh, and they had said that the governor should be apolitical. They should not be related to any political party. Now, a Supreme Court judge who is retired and demitted office is definitely apolitical. Second, the post of governor requires, Arnab, deep understanding of the Constitution of India.
40 days later becoming a member of the executive.
Please, this is not fair. Please ask him to be quiet.
Abhishek,
These people with verbal diarrhea always disturb us.
Abhishek, let him complete. Abhishek, let me complete. Abhishek, let me complete. But I want to corner you just a wee bit, Gaurav. Just a wee bit. I want to corner you. I want to corner you.
Please.
For we both have equal respect for Arun Jaitley. And in fact, there is one thing which binds us both: a great respect for Arun Jaitley's experience, knowledge, forthrightness, and wisdom. Even today, his quotes in Parliament and outside Parliament are held as a last word in legal wisdom. I need to quote this for you, Gaurav. Arun Jaitley said, Ravi Kadam, yes. Arun Jaitley said, there are two kinds of judges. In his typical, he was being a little humorous here. Those who know the law and those who know the law minister. You remember this quote? Now, this comes back to haunt the BJP government when they have appointed Justice Nazir as the governor of Andhra Pradesh, which I feel was avoidable. What do you think, Ravi Kadam? Then I'll come back to you, Gaurav.
Let me give you some perspective.
Yes.
When the Constituent Assembly, in fact, debated this question, and one of the independent members said that the restriction that you have on post-retirement government jobs, which applies to the Comptroller General of India, it applies to the Chairman of the Public Service Commission, it applies to all Public Service Commission members. It should also be applied to judges. Dr. Ambedkar gave a very recent response, and he said that for judges, I don't think this kind of restriction should apply. And he gave reasons which are there in the Constituent Assembly debates, and they're quoted in very many books also, as to why he thought that this sort of restriction should not apply to judges. Now, coming back to what Arun Jaitley said, from time to time and from person to person, you will have to take a conscious and a different position. Justice Nazir, through his judgments, through his work as a judge, through his entire life, which Chief Justice Chandrachud spoke about at the farewell, was an exemplary human being, apart from being a very balanced and reasoned judge. Now, when you have a governor's position, which is more and more in the political limelight for various reasons in different states, would it not be appropriate that a person who has already taken an oath and been a judge, whose oath says that I'll bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India, I'll uphold the Constitution, now adorns the office of a governor, where again his oath will be to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. So, in principle, I don't think there's any problem. From a person, of course, we all know, without anyone having to say too much, who are the partisan judges, and then you can, draw your own conclusions. But on principle, I don't think there's a problem at all.
So, but does the issue not matter? I want to go to Justice S.R. Singh, former judge of the High Court of Allahabad. Former judge of the Allahabad High Court. Justice S.R. Singh, thank you for coming. It's good to have so many eminent legal voices. And by the way, Ravi Kadam, former Advocate General, one of the top lawyers in the Mumbai High Court. Justice S.R. Singh, this is not unprecedented, but I think we should talk about it. This has happened before. Many people have been appointed to political positions. In fact, 70 Supreme Court judges since 1950 have been appointed to post-retirement jobs. But as you know, Justice S.R. Singh, of late there has been a rather strong discussion about the need to portray the independence of the judiciary. In the context of the ongoing discussion on this, should there be some thinking within the Supreme Court about post-retirement jobs?
Dekhe, I agree that in principle there is nothing wrong in the appointment of Justice Nazir as governor after retirement as a Supreme Court judge. He was a very upright judge and he has all the abilities to discharge constitutional functions as a governor of the state.
Right.
So, but difficulty is this, that by its nature, the existence is paradoxical. Now, everything has two aspects. Even if he is quite upright and his appointment is legally correct, there may be criticism on one ground or the other. So, that criticism, you see, there is a provision in the Constitution, Article 220, which provides that a permanent judge of the High Court shall not practice in the same High Court. So, if there is a provision that a retired Supreme Court judge or High Court judge shall not accept any political appointment, then of course that may be a different thing. But so long as that is not there, the appointment of Justice Nazir and to link his appointment with the Ayodhya verdict, his participation in unanimity Ayodhya verdict, I don't think that is just and proper. In this way, you are not only the people who are criticizing appointment, they are not only criticizing the independence of Justice Nazir as a judge of the Supreme Court, but they are also criticizing the decision-making authority, including the President of India, who have taken the decision for appointment of Justice Nazir as a governor of state. So I agree with my previous speaker and also Justice Mr. Ranjit Kumar, that in principle there is nothing wrong with his appointment and he possesses all the capabilities, ability, acumen to discharge the constitutional functions of the
let me ask the other side then. Let me ask this other side, the other side then, starting with Mrinalini and then Hardeep Singh Kingra. How come the lobby suddenly discovers morality, propriety and all these things after the appointment of Justice Nazir as a Supreme Court judge? Is this the first time? Is this the first time? Wasn't Ranganath Mishra, ex-Chief Justice, didn't he become a Rajya Sabha member in 1998, Mr. Kingra? That also on a Congress party ticket. What happened to morality then, sir? Does Jairam Ramesh not know history?
No, I agree. You know, Arnab, there are two issues. Yes, Arnab, there are two issues. One issue is whether this appointment is legal or not. This appointment is absolutely legal. There is no two issues about it because there is no such provision in our constitution. But the question again arises about the ethics and the morality and the propriety.
No, where were your morality, where was your ethics and where was your propriety when Justice Fatima Bibi became Tamil Nadu governor after retirement in 1997? One minute. Supreme Court Judge Fatima Bibi became governor of Tamil Nadu in 1997 after morality. Was there no morality then? Explain, no.
I fully agree with you on this, Arnab Goswami, but at the same time, our constitution is pliable. You should be amending the constitution if you think it is not correct. Now, let me say, Justice Gogoi was number 6 in the order of warrant of precedence, and then he went to Rajya Sabha at number 21 in the warrant of precedence. Should you go down like that? Number two, if you appoint the Prime Minister...
What a ridiculous argument. You are saying that MPship should be decided on order of precedent as a Supreme Court judge?
No. Of course, the order of precedent decide where you stand in the constitution, where you stand in a democracy. The order of precedent decides this. So the order of precedent put the Chief Justice
one minute.
number 6. Then he goes to number 21.
No. I just want to know what is so remarkable. What is okay? Gaurav and Mr. Mannan are on the debate. I want to know what is so remarkable about Abdul Nazir's appointment. All you people are in a tizzy since yesterday. You have said this government is trying to give favors in turn for judgments. You got to prove it on my program.
I have nothing
Arnab,
against.
Please allow me. I want to make my
Are
point.
we discussing
I hope I'm not being
Justice Nazir, or we are discussing the principle of
We are
appointment of
discussing
judges
the
and governor?
principle as quoted by you in the
discussing
context of
principle
Justice Nazir.
appointment of-
Gaurav is responding along with Mr. Mannan.
No, we are still. If the majority
So,
of the
Arnab,
people, those who
I
think
was
for this
hearing
country,
the
they think that this is
introduction.
not correct, then the Supreme Court should decide
Arnab,
on it,
you gotta
and we should amend
stop
our
this
constitution
writing.
to make this provision. If something wrong, two wrongs can't make a right. Two wrongs can't make a right.
Sir, you have double speak on this. I'm letting Gaurav come in and I'm coming for a counter attack after that. Yes, please, Gaurav.
No, I'm not double speaking on this. I'm speaking on
Gaurav,
the principle.
Gaurav, my only point to you is you could have avoided all this by not making Justice Nazir a governor.
People heckling us.
You could have, if you didn't make Justice Nazir a governor, there would have never been any controversy. I don't understand why you were so keen to make him a governor.
So,
what was the need for it?
allow me to answer now, and with some rationale, with some constitutionality. First, people are talking about amending the constitution. When the constitution was amended for abrogating Article 370, they were questioning and shouting in the parliament. Leave that aside. Now, coming to your question. You made an introduction saying, should the Supreme Court not look at this aspect and decide? When Justice Satasivam, former CGI, was appointed as the governor, Arnab, there was a petition that was filed before the Honorable Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court decided the petition, dismissing it and saying there is no bar in the Constitution. That is number one. Two, why is it good for a democracy if a retired Supreme Court judge serves as a governor of a state? I will tell you why. So read the judgment of the BP single case. And BP single case, the Honorable Supreme Court said, Arnab, that governors should be a political one. They should have deep understanding of the Constitution and how it works, because they have to take very important decisions. And when we have a former Supreme Court judge who serves as the governor, there is all guarantee that he will side with the spirit of the Constitution and will not feel any pressure. Third, you were comparing the BJP to the Congress party and you said, what is the difference? I will tell you what the difference is. And this answers
No, you
your
first
question
answer
on
my
Arun
question
Jaitley's
before that,
statement
Gaurav.
as well. Arun Jaitley
Gaurav, I'll understand the difference between BJP and
Arun
Congress from you
Jaitley's
later.
statement.
But if you may so, if I can just come to you very clearly out here. For I just want to know whether on television and on live television, you are contradicting the former Law and Finance Minister of India, Arun Jaitley, who had said, rightly so, that post-judgment... No. Please, sir, please allow me to complete what I'm saying. For I was one of the greatest supporters of what Arun Jaitley said at that point of time, because I didn't support Arun Jaitley as an individual. I supported the very principle of it. And I said, what a forthright way of putting it. What a funny way of putting it. At the same time, what an apt way of putting it. Now, Gaurav, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say, I agree with Mr. Arun Jaitley, but I don't agree in the principle of what he has said. For I now need to tell you, sir, this is what Mr. Jaitley said, and then we can make that a subject of discussion. Mr. Jaitley said the following. He said, we are the only country in the world where judges appoint judges. Even though there is a retirement age, judges are not willing to retire. Pre-retirement judgments are influenced by post-retirement jobs. Mr. Mannan, he was very clear. Which means he said that unless you put an end to this, this is the way people will look at it. Now, even at that point of time, and LP elaborate, there was nothing technical in what Arun Jaitley said. He was not arguing on technicality. It was never a technical argument at all. For technically, I know that there is only Article 124(7) which only debars Supreme Court judges from acting as lawyers in courts and other government authorities. There is no specific law debarring Supreme Court judges from accepting post-retirement jobs. I know that, but are you on the principle of it on national television on Republic today, 9:33 p.m. saying you fundamentally disagree with the principle of what Arun Jaitley said in 2013? For, let me tell you, these are among the many thoughts that people supported the BJP for. And they said there will be a breath of fresh air when the BJP comes, Gaurav Bhatia. And this kind of thing, which cannot be technically wrong, but perceived to be wrong. That here is a party which will change the perception issues. And people supported you for that, Gaurav.
Now you listen to me.
Now I am listening to you keenly, but have you listened to me, Gaurav?
Okay. Yes, I have. And let me respond. See, Shri Arun Jaitley ji is a very tall leader, and I know the reason why he said this. He had seen an era of the Congress party where the Congress aspired to have a committed judiciary. And let me cite you the reasons why he said this. The case of Justice Behrul Islam, he was a Congress MP in the Rajya Sabha. He was made a High Court judge by the Congress party. He debuted office. After 9 months, he was appointed as a Supreme Court judge, Arnab. Then again, he was given a Lok Sabha ticket, and after that, he was appointed to the Rajya Sabha. Arun Jaitley ji had seen the era where under Indira Gandhi, the two senior most judges were superseded by a junior judge to be the Chief Justice of India, because Indira Gandhi wanted a committed judiciary, and that is why he said that there should be a cooling period. But Arun Jaitley ji believed in Narendra Modi ji and his dedication towards the constitution, and that is why when he served as a minister in his government for 5 years, he believed that Narendra Modi ji will always uphold the spirit of the constitution and not mutilate and violate the constitution as was done by the Congress party. Now, I may also add to this, the Congress party is the one that is guilty of actually trying to mutilate the judiciary, because you remember, Arnab, just a few years ago, sitting Chief Justice of India, Justice Deepak Mishra, had to face the political wrath of the Congress party when they brought an impeachment motion against him.
I will.
So I think
now this is becoming
the best people to man these constitutional.
Sir, I tell you this, just because Nehru did something, we don't need to do the same thing. Nehru appointed Justice Fazal Ali as the first Supreme Court judge as governor of Orissa in 1952. Now, Mr. Manan and Mr. Ram Kadam, I want to bring him back. I have a simple view. I am a layman, Mr. Manan. I am not a highfalutin lawyer or a jurist, Mrinalini, but I feel that like justice should not just be done but be seen to be done. Judges must not just be impartial but be seen to be impartial. Can you confidently say, Mr. Manan, that the appointment of Justice Nazir does not cast a shadow over the Supreme Court or allow people to cast a shadow over the Supreme Court, and hence it's time the Supreme Court should take a view on these matters?
With conviction, I say, yes, of course. If he has been appointed the governor today, Supreme Court judge, retired judge, I welcome it. I welcome it. I do not know, I fail to understand why this hue and cry when the former Chief Justice of India can accept the member Rajya Sabha, Ranganathan Mishra. Few years ago, Sadashivam. Why this hue and cry today? You were discussing about Arun Jaitley ji.
All the instances are wrong.
I remember his speech. He said that please increase the age of Supreme Court judges, but with rider. He used the words with the rider. What was the rider? He elaborated it. He did not say whatever my learned friend, whatever the other panelist was telling about Arun Jaitley ji. He was a tall leader. He was one of the best lawyers of the country. Not like today, even me, making very long speeches on the TV. When we go in the court, you see there. But I welcome his appointment as governor of Andhra Pradesh, one of the best judge. He was appointed as High Court judge. He was appointed as the Supreme Court judge. He took oath of the Constitution. What was against him till today? Let anybody say that why he can't be appointed as governor of Andhra Pradesh today? What was against him? Only it's a political issue. One, you were telling about Jairam Ramesh. Jairam Ramesh, I remember one political speech of a very big leader. He was telling about another leader, एक कुत्ता देश में भौंकता नहीं और इतनी बड़ी बातें. What Ramesh, Jairam Ramesh in this country? What is he in the Congress? Ask him, can he win the election in the Sarpanch election in the village? No, he can't. Few people in this country have captured the system. But I'm sorry to say, so far as our governor he is appointed by the government, I welcome it. At least a person.
Sir, you are all taking a technical position. I don't know why you are not being radical enough on this. I'm sorry, you are all taking. Everybody's taking what's wrong technically. I'm saying here, Mrinalini, there is nothing wrong technically. There is nothing wrong technically. But if I open the phone lines right now, Mrinalini Deshmukh and Ravi Kadam, let me tell you confidently that there's a big gap rhythm between the thinking of people on this panel and the thinking of people in the country. Mrinalini, I don't think, I mean, everybody wants a post-retirement job. Everybody wants a post-retirement sinecure. Should we not speak up? Because it's against our collective interest.
It is about the appointment which has been made by the executive, which is the political party. That is what the issue here is all about. Arnab, it is not about Justice Nazir at all.
Of course, it's about Justice Nazir. Of course, Mrinalini, it's about the fact that he delivered the Ayodhya verdict.
It is
no, people are putting a cloud on him because he delivered the Ayodhya verdict with the same viciousness that they went after Justice Ranjan Gogoi.
Not at all.
Justice Ranjan Gogoi was targeted.
As a lawyer, he's one of the finest. Yes, of course. Justice Nazir, one of the finest judges. Justice Nazir, one of the best humane and
no, that's all right. Let's not be politically correct out here. Our people, okay. Mrinalini,
it is not about being politically correct. The point here is you started.
No, one minute.
Arnab, you start. 1 second. Arnab, you started your debate by saying, what do the people of India want? What do the viewers want? The common man wants that, as I said last evening on your program, Caesar's wife must be above suspicion. And that is what is the judiciary about. This is what separation of powers are about. This is what the independence of judiciary is about. A common man looks up to the judiciary with lot of faith, lot of trust. And again, this is not about the individual.
So then Mrinalini, by this logic, Mrinalini, by this logic, retired Supreme Court judges should not be walking with Rahul Gandhi on Bharat Jodo, no? Why are they walking?
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Was a former judge, one minute. Was a former judge, allow me. No, 1 minute. Was a former judge under the Congress government made director of the National Herald Group and even awarded the Padma Vibhushan?
Which is wrong.
No. How does morality suddenly spring from where?
You cannot say because a political party does it.
I am just saying here,
I
will go to the extent of saying...
It is about what is being right and what is being wrong.
No. I'll tell you one thing. See, Mrinalini, I'll tell you Ravi Kadam what is going on. Mr. Kadam, let me tell you, Mr. Ravi Kadam, what is going on out here. What is happening here is anybody who has been part of the unanimous Ayodhya verdict is being systematically targeted. That is the fundamental fact of it. In fact, Mr. Ravi Kadam, let me tell you, it is very unfortunate that people are now describing Justice Nazir as a Muslim judge. I never knew there is something like a Muslim judge or a Christian judge or a Hindu judge.
No.
But there are, there are articles being written as a Muslim judge. I know someone is a Supreme Court judge, Mr. Kadam. Suddenly that means a Muslim judge is supposed to give pro-Muslim judgments. And if a Muslim judge is part of a unanimous judgment for the Ram temple, then the Muslim judge is not acting like a Muslim judge should. These are the realities, Mr. Kadam. Can we put a shroud over them anymore?
You know, this perception which people have about judges is on the basis of maybe one or two landmark judgments they give. Now, if you're a party to a judgment where you take the view, you take the contrary view or the dissenting view in the triple talaq case, and the same judge also is part of the majority of the unanimous judgment in the Ayodhya case, I don't think there'll be anything left to say about that judge's absolute dispassionate views on the law. So having said this about Justice Nazir, I think what you raised is a different question, and that's a question of perception. The perception in the public mind is that here is a person who's occupied a high office, whether it's government, judiciary, etc. And now he's appointed to another high office after retirement. Is there a link between the previous office that he held and the discharge of his functions there and what he's getting now? Is it a reward? I don't think that is an easy answer. It's easy to say, oh, you did this, so you got this. You get bureaucrats, you have ex-army men being appointed as governors, you have leading and very competent bureaucrats appointed as governors. So maybe one way, because unless you do a constitutional amendment, there's no other way. One way would be to start a debate on a cooling off period, as somebody said, between the post you hold last and then being appointed, so that there is some distance, so then that this link no longer exists. That's a possible way to go forward, but it's a difficult call. And as you rightly said, the perception in the public mind is that they link what you did last.
Now I go back to the political debate a little bit on this. Gaurav, I know you want to come in, so I'll bring in right now. I'll bring in Mr. Kingra, I'll bring in Tanveer, I'll bring in Abhishek. I'll also bring in Gaurav on the debate. Situation is clear out here. Gaurav, your government should have been conscious, and the government should have been conscious. 3 of the 5 Supreme Court judges, Rhythm, who were part of the Ayodhya verdict, have been given post-retirement jobs. Pretty substantial post-retirement jobs. My only point, Gaurav, is I believe that whatever they did as part of the unanimous verdict was right. I have supported the verdict. I think it's a profoundly erudite and well-read verdict. Even Justice Chandrachud was part of it. But why open up this can of worms, Gaurav? Why? Is there nothing else? Is it so necessary within 40 days of retirement to rehabilitate Abdul Nazir as a governor of Andhra?
Okay. So now may I respond, Arnab? Arnab, if you are questioning me about 40 days and it's a very short span of time, let me cite you an example, and I'm not citing this to show you that 2 wrongs will make a right, but I'm citing this to show you that a person of high integrity and merit who takes oath of the Constitution as a Supreme Court judge or a governor, he thinks that the holy book is the Constitution of India and he will never fail our democracy and people of the country. So the example for you is this: Justice Fazal Ali, after 7 days of demitting office, was appointed a governor. 7 days. Please mark that. But I will still say Fazal Ali ji was one of the best judges that we have seen.
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, why do we always go back into the closet of Congress, sir?
To be quiet. No, this is not done. Arnab, I think
why do we go back into the closet of Congress? I know it is full of dirty skeletons.
Question counter to you, Gaurav, is counter to you, Gaurav, not an unjustified counter is why do you go back into the closet of the Congress to find out what they did? Surely that is not your inspiration.
So Arnab, just that, you know, every time whenever we ask you about corruption, you say Congress did the corruption. Appointment, Congress did it. I mean, why?
Okay, point taken. Tanveer is responding now. Come on, he's responding. He's responding.
Booted them out.
But he's responding.
Yes.
And Rhythm's taking over from here. Yeah.
Arnab, for the first time, Milord, I don't agree with your judgment because today you are being very biased. You didn't even give me any time today. You have been very biased, my lord. I think
This
you are
is
also
very
looking
unfair,
for a job
Arnab.
become a governor
Heckling
later.
all the way.
And it's shocking that you would be liking to
आप तो
speak
ऐसे
when
नहीं थे भाई,
actually
क्या हो गया
the
आपको?
points being made on TV today are actually supporting what you're actually saying when it comes to
I'm
post-retirement
surprised.
jobs.
I'm the one who's
and
questioning
cooling
the
off
government
period.
most openly. I know that you are joining the BJP soon, but doesn't mean you need to make your forthcoming political affiliation open on television tonight by saying you disagree with me. Gaurav, please continue. I've totally countered him. Please continue.
Yes, thank you. Arnab, the point that I am making is very simple. I am not citing an example of the wrongdoing of the Congress to say that we have done something wrong and Congress did it, so we are also doing it. Rather, I am telling you, a person of integrity, merit, who is well respected, who believes in the Constitution, whether he takes oath under the Constitution as a Supreme Court judge or a governor, he will be a man of impeccable integrity and he will serve the country well. And that is why such eminent people have been chosen to protect the constitution of the country. Second, it is not a job for them, Arnab. Please understand, these people find a way to serve the country. They are not hungry for any jobs. Rather, they want to serve the country, and with the kind of experience that they possess.
There are a lot of
this
people who want to
government
serve the
feels it
country.
should
It's
be
not
put
just
to
Justice
good use.
Nazir. Rhythm, over to you. There are a lot of people who just want to serve the country.
They have been given a chance.
Yes, in fact, I also want to ask Mr. K.K. Manan this. Mr. Manan, you've also seen the way the debate is going
Yes,
ahead.
yes, SRC.
But there should be a cooling off period. There has to be some sort of understanding that when a person is given a job, there has to be at least a 2-year period like is there, like it was said
Exactly.
earlier.
Why not?
So
What's the problem there? Yeah.
why isn't it there?
Yeah, taken. And Justice S.R. Singh is well on it. Yeah.
It is, Rhythmji, Arnabji, where is it written in the Constitution?
Agree that
Where
there
is
must be
this
some
time?
cooling up period.
This cooling time, from where it has come? No need.
No,
The
need
reason
for all
is
this.
We are saying
And
put it
rather,
there.
He
as
says
I
there's
said
no
at the
need.
outset, that
Justice
I welcome
Singh.
his appointment.
Can I recounter?
No, why? Justice Singh was saying something.
There must be
Justice Singh
cooling
is
off
saying
period.
something, yeah.
I can give you another answer.
This is what I'm saying, that there must be some cooling up
Even
period. The
while
reason is
if the
this.
High Court judges,
Just
why-
I've said that.
Let's hear him. Yes, Justice Singh.
Yeah, there must be.
I wanted to say something else.
The reason is this.
You see,
Justice Singh, go ahead, please. Thank you. Justice Singh and
The
Gaurav.
reason is this.
Thank you.
You see, the reason is this, that there must be some cooling up period. The reason is this, that this existence is paradoxical. हर चीज का विरोध होता है यहाँ पर धर्म भी है, अधर्म भी है, सत्य भी है, असत्य भी है। तो जो हर चीज के 2 व्यूज होते हैं, इसलिए उस व्यूज को खत्म करने के लिए जरूरी है कि 2 साल, 4 साल, 5 साल का कूलिंग पीरियड हो जाए, तो ये बेटर होगा। किसी को मौका नहीं मिलेगा, उस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू सही है। अदरवाइज अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ जस्टिस नजीर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग विद हिज अपॉइंटमेंट। वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल ड्यूटीज को परफॉर्म करने में सक्षम है, जैसा गौरव भाटिया जी ने कहा। तो इसमें कोई गलती नहीं है,
बिल्कुल।
लेकिन कूलिंग पीरियड लोगों को जो गाली देने का मौका मिलता है, वो गाली देने का मौका नहीं मिलेगा अगर इस तरह की बात हो जाए तो।
जी, वो किंगरा जी आपकी पार्टी के बारे में बोल रहे हैं। सो इतनी जल्दी क्या है? गौरव भाटिया कोई देश की सेवा करना चाहे, रिदम, then they can serve the country after 6 months, after 1 year.
Yes, and that's exactly
Can I
where
say something,
Justice
Arnab?
Gaurav has actually come out. And Gaurav, you have to admit, even someone who's saying there's no problem with this appointment is actually saying there should be a cooling off period. Abhishek is smiling, Tanveer is smiling, but this is not about a political debate really. Speaking, Tanveer, you wanted to come in, and Tanveer, I do want you to make your points, because there is also a lobby, I have to also say, that continues to
Kingra,
oppose
can I say something?
Yes, Mr. Kingra, last word, yeah.
Yeah, Arnab, after 75 years of independence, it is high time that we should hold an open debate on the
Surely,
appointment of
because you
governors
didn't
and their
realize
position in
anything
our
for 65
democracy.
years.
Because
we should realize everything after 75 years.
If you look at this, if you, Arnab, if you look at the first draft in the
अधर्म आप करेंगे, पश्चाताप कोई और करेगा. ये logic fantastic है, Mr. Kingra. I thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for that debate. Multiple contradictions there. And when I come back on the other side, why, when somebody makes taking an anti-Hindu position as part of a calculated political strategy, I have a problem. And why I also have a major problem with the fact that you have a ban on the PFI. But it must be the only proscribed group to have an official political wing, the SDPI, about which nothing has been done. I feel the Home Ministry should look at that. In a few minutes, two sharp debates.